If there's one thing every gardener can agree on, it's this. Weeding is the absolute worst part of gardening. You bend over for hours, pull until your back aches, and just when you think you've won, the weeds pop right back up, stronger than ever. But what if I told you there's a way to stop weeding forever? What if you could walk out to your garden, plant what you want, and never worry about weeds taking over again? That's exactly what the Amish discovered long ago. Their secret isn't some expensive gadget or chemical spray. It's a method so simple, so natural, that once you learn it, you'll wonder why you ever wasted time pulling weeds at all. Today, I'm going to share that Amish gardening secret with you and show you how to use it in your own backyard. Welcome to Soil Power, where we bring ancient wisdom and modern soil science together to help you grow stronger, healthier gardens. So, before we dive into the Amish secret, let's quickly look at why weeds are just such a relentless enemy. Most of us are taught that tilling, turning over the soil every season, is the best way to prepare the ground for planting. But the problem is, tilling actually wakes up thousands of dormant weed seeds buried in your soil. Think of your soil as a seed bank. Every time you till, you're basically cashing out more weed seeds and bringing them right to the surface, where light, warmth, and air encourage them to sprout. That's why, after tilling, you'll often see a fresh carpet of weeds within just a few days. And here's the kicker: weeds are nature's cleanup crew. Their job is to protect bare soil. When soil is left exposed, weeds rush in to cover it, stabilize it, and feed the ecosystem. In other words, if you keep leaving bare soil, you'll keep getting weeds. You know, the Amish really get this. That's why they don't waste time battling weeds the way most modern gardeners do. Instead, they work with nature's rules to make weeds, well, pretty much irrelevant. Here it is, plain and simple. The Amish don't till and they don't leave soil bare, ever. Their gardens are built on one guiding principle: keep the soil covered at all times. By covering the soil with organic matter like straw, hay, wood chips, or compost, they cut weeds out of the picture. Think about it. Seeds need sunlight to germinate. If they're buried under a thick, smothering blanket of mulch, they simply can't grow. The few weeds that do manage to sneak through are weak, shallow-rooted, and easy to pull with a single tug. This approach doesn't just stop weeds. It also builds incredibly rich, fertile soil, holds in moisture, and keeps plants healthier. It's the closest thing to effortless gardening you'll ever find. Now let's break down exactly how you can use this method in your own garden. 1. Stop tilling immediately. This is the hardest step for most gardeners because tilling feels like doing something. But trust me, put the rototiller away. Every time you flip your soil, you're inviting thousands of new weeds to the party. Instead, focus on feeding the soil from the top down, the way nature does. 2. Lay down a weed-smothering base. If you already have a patch of weeds in your garden, don't spend days pulling them. Instead, smother them. Lay down a thick layer of cardboard or several layers of newspaper directly on top of the weeds. The paper blocks sunlight, suffocates weeds, and breaks down naturally, feeding your soil as it decomposes. The Amish often use old feed bags or natural fiber mats in the same way. 3. Add a thick layer of organic mulch. On top of your weed barrier, pile on 4 to 6 inches of mulch. This could be straw, untreated, not hay full of seeds, wood chips, leaves, grass clippings in thin layers so they don't mat down, compost, or well-aged manure. This layer is the real Amish magic. It locks in moisture, feeds the soil, and makes it nearly impossible for weeds to get established. 4. Plant directly into the mulch. Here's where it gets fun. To plant, simply pull back a small hole in the mulch, dig into the soil beneath, drop in your seed or transplant, and tuck the mulch back around the plant. Your crops grow up strong and healthy while the weeds remain choked out underneath. Alright, step 5. Keep feeding the soil. Every single season, just keep adding more mulch. Think of it kind of like layering a lasagna. The soil gets richer and richer, and honestly, you'll never need to till again. You know, the beauty of this Amish method is that it really copies what nature already does in forests and meadows. If you've ever walked in the woods, you'll notice there are never any bare patches of soil. The ground is always covered in leaves, sticks, and organic matter. That natural mulch, well, it keeps the ecosystem in balance. So, here are the biggest reasons this system beats tilling every single time. No light for weeds, seeds hidden under mulch just can't germinate. So, soil moisture stays perfect. Mulch really locks in water, so you end up watering a whole lot less. And, soil becomes softer naturally. Worms do the tilling for you, creating all those tiny air pockets and boosting fertility. Plants actually stay healthier. Since there's no soil splash, you get fewer diseases spreading up to the leaves. And over time, long-term fertility builds. Every single year, your mulch breaks down into that rich, dark soil we all love. This is exactly why Amish gardens look so effortlessly lush. They're not stuck fighting weeds. Honestly, they've just outsmarted them. When I first tried this method in my own garden, I'll be honest, I was skeptical. Could simply covering the soil really stop weeds? I laid down cardboard, added straw, and, well, crossed my fingers. By midsummer, something amazing happened. Where I used to spend hours hunched over yanking out crabgrass and pigweed, I suddenly had nothing to do but harvest. My tomatoes thrived, my cucumbers exploded, and the weeds, they were nowhere to be seen. Now, every time I add a fresh layer of mulch, I feel like I'm investing in future freedom. My soil is richer, my plants are happier, and best of all, I actually enjoy gardening again. Alright, don't skimp on mulch thickness. If you use less than 4 inches, weeds will definitely sneak through. Remember to refresh every season since mulch breaks down, so you'll want to keep topping it up. Oh, and be careful with hay. Unless you're totally certain it's seed-free, hay can actually add more weeds. Try to use what's local, whether it's leaves, wood chips, or even shredded paper, because all of those can work just fine. And think long-term here. The first year is really about smothering weeds, but every year after that gets a whole lot easier. Let's be real, no gardening method is truly 100% maintenance-free. But this Amish system gets about as close as it comes. By following nature's rules, cover the soil, feed the soil, you eliminate the conditions weeds need to thrive. You also save time, water, and energy while building soil fertility that lasts for decades. Instead of fighting your garden, you finally get to enjoy it. Imagine stepping outside in the morning, coffee in hand, walking through rows of vegetables and realizing there's not a single weed to pull. That's the gift of the Amish secret. The Amish don't waste time tilling or battling weeds because they know the truth. Healthy soil grows food, not weeds. Their method works because it respects nature's design, and it's something you can start today, no matter the size of your garden. So here's my challenge to you. Try it this season. Lay down your cardboard, add your mulch, and watch how quickly your garden transforms. You'll never look at weeding the same way again. And if you found this guide helpful, don't forget, hit that subscribe button on Soil Power, share this with your gardening friends, and let's spread the secret of weed-free gardens together. Your soil is waiting. Let's give it the power it deserves.